Okay, today we're going to go over a few examples of operations with integers here, just to get you more comfortable with your integers, your positive and your negative. So we are going to do your adding, your subtracting, your multiplying, and your dividing with your different integers. Okay, so the first problem we have on the board here today is 3 minus negative 2. Now we are subtracting, and we do have rules for this, but I kind of look at these a different way. If I have two minus signs right next to each other, and you're going to hear me say this a lot throughout the year, if I have two minus signs right next to each other, what does that turn into? Well, if I have two minus signs right next to each other, that turns into a plus sign. Okay, so really the problem is stating what is 3 plus 2. And we all know that 3 plus 2 is 5. So our answer there is 5. Now the next one, I actually do have negative 4 plus negative 5. So because they are the same sign, meaning they are both negative, I add them together. So 4 plus 5 is 9. And I keep the sign. So I do want to keep that negative sign there. So my answer for the second problem here is negative 9. For the third problem, again, I have two minus signs right next to each other. So what does that turn into? That will turn into a plus sign. So here I actually have the problem negative 5 plus 6. Now, because they are different signs, one is negative and one is positive, we do subtract them. So 6 minus 5 is a 1. And we want to keep the sign of the larger number. Well, 6 is larger than 5, and 6 was positive. So my answer is actually going to be a positive 1. For my fourth problem, now I am turning to multiplication. So 6 times 5 is 30. And because they are opposite signs, meaning one is positive and one is negative, my answer will be negative. So negative 30 for my answer there. Now I'm switching over to division. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. And because they are both the same sign, my answer is positive. So negative 12 divided by negative 4 is a positive 3. And then lastly, again, I'm going to rewrite my problem because I do have two minus signs right next to each other. So that turns into negative 2 plus 6. And because one is positive and one is negative, I am going to subtract them. So 6 minus 2 is 4. And I'm going to keep the sign of the larger number. Well, 6 is larger than 2, and 6 was positive. So that is why my answer is going to say a positive 4.